My name is Susan Tatelli. I am 13 years old. I have life-threatening food allergies to peanuts, tree nuts, soy, and hemp. A year ago, I finished a clinical trial for my peanut allergy. The clinical trial was very difficult. I had many reactions. We now know I was in the control group. In the past 2.5 years, I have had 9 epinephrine-requiring anaphylactic reactions. I self-administered my epinephrine 8 of those times. Some people thought I should quit the clinical trial. I am thankful I did not because of what I learned about the severity of my food allergies, anaphylaxis, and epinephrine readiness. I believe understanding food allergies and epinephrine readiness saves lives, which is why I am sharing my story. My food allergy story started when I was very young.
When I was 2 years old, my mom suspected I was allergic to peanuts. My pediatrician suggested she give me a small amount of peanut to see what happened. We now know what a bad idea that was. When we changed pediatricians, that doctor ordered blood tests that day. He called her later and told her I had the highest RAS of any of his patients ever.
At first, we did not understand the severity of Susan's food allergies.
When I was little, I had an airborne reaction on a plane and we had to make an emergency landing.
She hadn't eaten anything. I don't know if she touched something and then touched her mouth or her eye or somehow transferred some trace amount of peanut into her body, but it wasn't from something she ate.
We no longer fly anywhere.
I couldn't live a normal life.
I couldn't fly on a plane. I couldn't go to the movies. I couldn't eat out. I couldn't eat birthday cake. I couldn't go to ice cream shops. I couldn't sleep over. I couldn't sit where I wanted at lunch. I couldn't live a normal life because a microscopic amount of peanut once had the power to kill me.
For as long as I can remember, I just wanted to be like everyone else. Early on, we realized my food allergies were so severe that I could not be like everyone else.
People have a hard time believing I have had anaphylactic reactions without actually eating peanut.
After Susan had multiple anaphylactic reactions without actually eating anything, we began to understand that managing her food allergies required a diligence far beyond simply reading labels and keeping track of what she ate.
Because of my food allergies, I grew up fast. This is what I know. No one plans to have an anaphylactic reaction.
When I had my reactions at the beginning of the trial, I wasn't confident knowing what to do. I made mistakes, but I've learned.
The day of the food challenge, I had a delayed anaphylactic reaction and ended up having to self-inject my EpiPen in the middle of the night.
I remember the first time. I was 11. I remember how late it was. I remember the kickback. I remember the unexpected force. I remember knowing the needle had not been in long enough. I remember trying to stick that same EpiPen back in. I remember the blood pouring down my leg like a river. I remember having to try again. I remember being ready, so ready the second time. I remember holding the needle in my thigh even as it tried to push back out. I remember there was no blood when I did it right.
This is what I know. No one plans to have an anaphylactic reaction.
Anaphylaxis, hives, flushing skin, feeling hot, swelling of mouth, lips, tongue, throat, nausea, vomiting, wheezing, coughing, difficulty breathing, a feeling of doom, loss of consciousness, death.
I felt like hot and my nose was runny. Well, not really runny, it's like just like stuffed. A little hard to breathe.
According to FARE, food allergic teens are prone to risk-taking behaviors which place them at the highest risk of having a fatal anaphylactic reaction. I am a teen. That will not be my reality. I've self-carried my epinephrine since I was 3. I'm glad I have self-carried for as long as I can remember because I feel incomplete without it. For years, I carried 2 epinephrine auto-injectors in a purple fanny pack. Now I have a rainbow of purses. No matter how I carry them, I will always have 2 epinephrine auto-injectors with me. This is what I know. No one plans to have an anaphylactic reaction. Fatal anaphylaxis does not have to be anyone's reality. Be ready, know the symptoms, carry 2 epinephrine auto-injectors.